Hey guys, so sorry there was a delay in me coming back online. Some issue with the laptop. I think we've been struggling with this live game here. So we're here, we're live. If you're live, just type out yes so I can see who's live. Give me a moment as I set the grip up. I'm doing this from my phone itself. So in the comments below, tell me your name, tell me where you're from so I know who's online. Okay, I'm gonna try and keep this here. Alright, and we'll manage with this for the day. Okay, hi Jenny. Hello Raghunandan. Hello Kalpesh. Hi Sujit. Okay. Hi Sonali. So glad to see you guys live. So firstly, we were supposed to do this Facebook Live last week on the 19th of March, but there was a medical emergency with my mentor. She passed on, she passed away, so I had to cancel everything. So thank you so much for understanding. Thank you so much for coming back live. I've actually been looking forward to this Facebook Live quite a bit because I think this is the time that entrepreneurs need support, businesses need support. There's no denial about the fact that these times have hit businesses badly. So I'm going to do my best to be able to add value, to provide solutions so I can serve as many of you today. So here's what I have done. I've kind of put down pointers. In fact, I've never ever prepared for a Facebook Live. Never. Okay. This is the first time I actually prepared because I wanted to structure my thoughts. I wanted to structure my thoughts and share with you what can businesses do in these times of the coronavirus, in these times of a lockdown. What can we do practically? What can we do in an actionable manner? Because I know it can be quite daunting for an entrepreneur to be stuck in the four walls of their home, or not be able to go out there and do what they're usually doing, and still have the challenges of fixed salaries and rents and different kind of business expenses. So my intention today is to be able to share with you my thoughts of what a business owner should do in these times. And then towards the end of this Facebook Live, I will also open up myself for some questions, and I'd be happy to answer as many questions as I can. I also want to extend my support to the business owners community, and what I'm going to do is towards the end of this Facebook Live, share with you an opportunity where I could work with you and your team during these times, and I don't want any money for that. I just want to be able to pay it forward to entrepreneurs and support the community of entrepreneurs. So I'm going to be offering you a gift from my side, if I have to call it, so that I can support you and your team in these tough times, and hopefully we come out, all of us come out stronger out of this entire process. So with that, I would love for you to have pens and papers with you to make notes, because I have a lot of thoughts that I want to put out today. So if you have got pens and papers ready with you, type out got it ready. Okay, in the comment section, type out got it ready so I know you have pens and papers ready. Waiting for you guys to type out got it ready. I know there's a few seconds lag from when I say it to when it reaches you, and then you type it back for me. Awesome. So let's get started. I think there are three key elements that we need to manage at this point of time with this pandemic and this lockdown situation. Now, what are those three key elements for us to manage? The first key element for all of us to manage is our mindset, which I'm going to be talking about in detail. The second key element is for us to manage our team, which again is something that I'm going to be talking about in detail. And the third thing that we need to manage at this point of time as business owners is our money. So I'm going to talk to you about in this Facebook Live, in the times of lockdown, in the times of this pandemic, in the times of this global crisis, how do we manage our mindset, our team, and our money? Okay, how many of you think that would be a useful conversation to have today? If you think that's going to be a useful conversation to have, type out useful there. Okay, because I truly believe if we are able to take care of this, if we are able to take care of this, and if we are able to take care of this, our team, then I think we will see through this phase with a lot of strength and conviction. Okay, so let's begin with the mindset. So I have been in conversation with a lot of entrepreneurs. A lot of entrepreneurs are reaching out to me during this time. I'm a part of so many WhatsApp groups, so I'm seeing the kind of messaging and conversations that is happening at this point of time. And let me tell you what I see happening for a lot of people. For a lot of people, there's a lack of acceptance that this is a challenge and there's nothing in your control. I think the first step for us to do as entrepreneurs is to not resist the time. We cannot do anything about what is happening outside us. So it's most useful for us to focus on what's in our control, and for us to be able to focus. The key word is focus, because I know we are losing focus. You're sitting at home, you're watching TV, you are doing your daily chores of what you do at home, and then suddenly you're thinking about business, and then you're feeling this helplessness, saying, what can I do? What is the government doing? I know all these thoughts, and then you go on WhatsApp, and then there are 1,000 cures to the coronavirus. The scientists and the doctors have not found it, but people on WhatsApp groups have found cures to coronavirus. So I think we have to manage our focus for us to be able to get the best out of this time. And my worry is that as an entrepreneur, if we resist, if we fight what is happening, emotionally fight, physically you can't do anything. Okay, so I think the first step is a sense of acceptance, saying, I know there is a crisis, I accept I can't do anything about it. The only thing I can control right now is what I'm doing with my team, what I'm doing with my time, and what I'm doing with my mindset. I think the moment we set that acceptance up, then we are in work mode. Then we are in a state of being resourceful. But if we are sitting and just jumping from one news item to another news item, from one Facebook video to another Facebook video, or a WhatsApp video to another WhatsApp video, or one article to another article, just to figure out what all is happening. Oh, the death toll has gone up, number of people detected positively with the virus have gone up. Hey, you know what? You're consuming way more news than you need to. So stop filling your mind with this toxicity of, oh, Italy, these many cases, India, these many cases. You can't do anything about it. So stop reading one more article about the coronavirus. Stop forwarding one more message about the coronavirus. Let's start from there. Because when you stop consuming and exchanging that information, that's when you give yourself time and space to say, what else do I do? I am seeing people spend so much time just reading news articles, blog articles, consuming videos around coronavirus, that the only thing they're thinking, eating, sleeping, breathing is the virus. Let me tell you something. The virus may not kill you, but the worry of the virus will kill a lot of people. So get aware. What are your conversations? Where are you spending your time? Okay. What are you doing with the time that you have at home? And most people are doing nothing, and they're acting like that's all that they can do. I'm going to tell you there's so much more you can do. I promise you I'm going to give you actionable stuff today. But the first thing to stop doing, before I tell you what you need to start doing, is stop watching videos about the coronavirus. Stop forwarding messages about the coronavirus. Stop going crazy at this point of time. Accept the globe, the planet has a challenge. You and I are entrepreneurs. We are not doctors. We can't do anything about it. If it helps, exit all those WhatsApp groups where your uncles and aunties are forwarding, eat amla and you will cure coronavirus messages. Okay, so just move forward. Okay, just move forward, and let's look at what can we do when we are in this lockdown. Okay, stop blaming the government, stop blaming China, stop blaming your team, client, everything. Ask yourself, what's the most useful emotion to be it? Okay, what's the most useful emotion to be in? What's the most useful conversation to have? Okay, that is where we can start working constructively. So the first step is acceptance that this is not in our control. Acceptance that the only thing in our control is our focus, our energy, our conversations, and managing our focus, our energy, our conversation is what is our responsibility. Okay, that is the first thing we need to accept. The second thing is, I want you to get into analysis mode. A lot of business owners are going into so much fear, but when I'm asking them, okay, tell me, what is your financial situation right now? How much money do you need to sustain? How much money do you need to pay salaries? What is the inflows due to you? What is the outflows due? By when is it due? What is the kind of cash flow situation you're looking at? And most people do not have exact numbers. And when I ask them, when you don't have exact numbers, what are you worrying about? And they're like, I'm worrying about it because everybody's worrying about it. Get into analysis mode. Okay? Get clear about your numbers, your cash situation. What is inflow due? What is outflow that is due? By when is inflow coming? By when is outflow coming? And if there is no kind of sale, no kind of revenue transaction happening at this point of time, what reserves are you sitting on? And how long will those reserves help you survive? These are some of the things that you need to have exact numbers at the tip of your fingers. Because numbers don't lie. I just did this exercise yesterday with an entrepreneur. He was sitting and fretting saying, Dhanda mar gaya hai, coronavirus has killed the business, all of that. And I'm like, okay, tell me how much money are you sitting on in the bank? What is your monthly expenses for your business? And he did not even know these numbers. And I said, okay, I'm going to give you 30 minutes. Go figure out your numbers. Tell me how much inflows are due, what payments are pending, follow up on those payments, and tell me how much money are you sitting. And he calls me up after 1 hour and he says, Rajiv, I just realized that I have enough money to pay my team's salaries on time for the next 4 months. I'm like, okay, now that you know that you can pay your team salaries on time for the next 4 months and survive and see through this phase, how does that make you feel? And he says, it makes me feel a lot more at peace. Now, think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Most of us have not done our numbers work, but we are living the pandemic like it's happening to us right now in our homes. Okay? So you got to know your numbers. That's the second step, analysis. And I know some of you have already done the analysis of your numbers as to what are your inflows due, what are your outflows due, by when is that money coming in, how long can you sustain, how long can you hold on. Okay, so that's the analysis thing. So first step, acceptance. This is not in my control. Acceptance that the only thing in my control is my conversation, is my thought process, and is my action. That's the only thing that is in my control. Second thing, analysis of my financial situation, outflows, inflows, so I know how long can I sustain without any revenue. Third thing is awareness. Okay. Now, I'm going to say certain things that some of you may not like because the heat is on. But I need to say it because if I don't speak the truth to you, then I will just become just another sympathizer and empathizer, and that's not going to help your cause. So question, can you handle the truth, ladies and gentlemen? Can you handle the truth? Okay, because not many people can handle the truth. People want to hear the nice things. People want to hear stuff that comforts them, not what is necessary for them to hear. So I'm going to tell you what you need to get aware of. Here's what I believe. I believe crisis exposes the gaps in a business owner's business model. Let me explain that to you. Okay. Has the virus, has this entire pandemic affected my business? Absolutely yes. So I'm not going to sit here like a Gyani Baba who's floating on cloud 9 and saying it didn't affect my business, so you don't let your mindset get affected by it. It's hit my business as well. It's hit my businesses as well. I run an event management company. There's no sight of events happening for the next 3-6 months. Okay. My business, I'm not an online trainer or a coach. I have largely been a large format conferences and events coach. Okay. We've cancelled at least 6 events in this phase. Okay. Now what has the crisis done? The crisis has exposed even my gaps in my business model, saying, hey Raji, you're doing offline events. You also, but in this times, you have a gap. So you need to start building an online event business. You need to start building an online training and coaching business. Okay. So the crisis has exposed your gap. So firstly, you need to identify what gap has the crisis exposed in your business model. Okay. Has it exposed the gap that you're too dependent on one particular market? I know the crisis exposed some people's gap early because they were too dependent just on China. And when China shut down, India was working normally, but there were some businesses that got hit early because there was everything dependent on China. So the crisis has exposed the gap in people's business models. So learn from that gap. Fix it for the long term. Okay, fix it for the long term. That has to be the commitment and resolve you need to make to yourself. The other thing is crisis has also revealed your character and mindset. You know, I know so many people who've been attending seminars, workshops, consuming Facebook videos, reading books and all of that. And when the crisis hit, all the positivity went out of the window. So crisis is even exposing your character and mindset. Are there tough times here? Yes, there are tough times here. But what is your response to that tough times? What are the emotions and thoughts you're feeling? Because if you're panicking, if you're worrying, of course take precautions from a health point of view. But the rest has to be focused from a point of view of business. What else can I do? What else do I need to learn? But most people are not asking these questions. Most people are sitting depressed on their couch. They're sitting depressed on their couch all day long. They're having dining table conversations with their family members, with their children, listening to those conversations which are depressing. Okay, so crisis also exposes the character and the mindset. Okay, what are you made of? Okay, because they say this, it's a theory of fire. When you put iron through fire, the iron becomes stronger. When you put plastic through fire, the plastic melts and stinks. So the question you need to ask yourself is, what is your character made of, iron or plastic? Because all that positive talk, positive mindset is going to get tested now. Okay, is going to get tested now. Can you keep the mind over matter? Okay, can you operate at a level of thinking beyond what reality is? Okay, so crisis reveals even your mindset and your character. The third thing, crisis reveals your team culture. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Yesterday we did a call and we've been proactively communicating with our team. Everybody's working from home. We're just getting on Zoom calls online and we've been communicating with our team. Okay, and we said, guys, the next 3-6 months are going to be difficult financially. What do you guys think? What do you have to say? And the first response from the team was, whatever it is, we will do this together. And that's such a fulfilling feeling, because you know that your team is backing you. So today, if your team is saying, sir, what about my salary? What about this? What about that? And they are feeling insecure. Well, this moment of crisis has revealed even the culture that you've built already. Like I said this, I'm going to give solutions as well on this Facebook Live. But I think if we do not introspect on these elements, then we are not going to learn anything from this crisis. Because I truly believe that there's a spiritual message in this time of chaos and crisis. The universe, Mother Earth, is trying to communicate something to us. And if we don't learn from this situation, and we don't adapt and make serious changes in how we think and what we do, then guess what? The crisis is going to swallow us. But the crisis will only allow those people to move beyond who adapt. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution comes to test right now. He said, it's not the species that is the toughest that will survive. It's not the species that is smartest that will survive. It's the species that is most responsive to change that will survive. This is time of change, ladies and gentlemen. And the truth is, change is pain. Because we live under the assumption that we are in control. The universe is just teaching us a lesson saying you're not in control. You never were, you never will be. So the question is, do you have a sense of surrender and acceptance in the situation, and yet focus and determination to say, I'm going to come out of this? Or are you going to sit there, sulk and whine? Because if you're going to sit there, sulk and whine, all the best. Tell me how that works out for you. So ladies and gentlemen, first step, let me review. This is for those who joined in late. How do you handle your business in these times? First step is stop fighting internally. Accept that the situation is not in your control. The only thing in your control is your conversations, is your mindset, is your focus, is your action. The situation is not in your control. So stop fighting it. The worry will kill you more than the actual problem will. So don't let the worry kill you. Second step, analyze. Analyze what is required from a business point of view, cash flow point of view. What are your inflows spending? What is your outflows? Third step, awareness. And when it's coming to awareness, I'm kind of giving you certain things to reflect upon. The first thing to reflect upon is that crisis reveals or exposes the gaps in your business model. So ask yourself, what are the elements missing in my business model? Do we have an online business model? Why don't we have an online business model? What can we create as an online business model? So look at it from that point of view. Okay, that what are the gaps of your business model that you are seeing because of this global pandemic situation? Then crisis reveals your character. How are you feeling? What are the emotions you're going through on a day-to-day basis? Just start getting aware of your thought factory. We all have a thought factory. And some people are spending their entire day on the couch, not even moving a muscle, and they're just feeling depressed. Okay? So it's revealing your character and your mindset. The third thing crisis is revealing is your team culture. If your team is right now thinking only about self, and they want to quit, they're searching for a new job. By the way, there's no other job to do right now. Everybody's at home. Okay, and if your team is not together at this point of time, then that's feedback for you that you've never built a team culture. So now when there seems to be a hole in the boat, everybody wants to change the boat. So crisis tests your team culture. The fourth thing, crisis tests your leadership philosophy and ability. It tests your leadership philosophy and ability. And let me tell you this. If you are going to use this time to cut costs and lay people off, you're never going to subscribe loyalty from anyone ever. This is not the time to lay people off. This is not the time to cut your costs by cutting away people's source of livelihood. We became entrepreneurs because we were willing to take responsibility. What is responsibility? The ability to respond to any situation. And I know some of you are still waiting, but Rajiv, give me a solution. I am going to give you a solution. Hold on. Absorb all of this. Absorb all of this because you need to get this. Okay, you need to get this. Okay. So that's what crisis is revealing. So you need to start reflecting on your business model, on your emotions, on your cash reserves, on your team culture. So that's awareness. The fourth step is action. Now, make sure you have pens and papers ready because I'm going to give you action steps to take while you're locked in your house. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Okay. So here's the first step. Okay. First step to take. The first step is to communicate with your team. Get them on a webinar, get them on a Zoom call, okay, get them on an online meeting, get them on a conference call. The first step is to communicate to your team. What do you need to communicate to your team? You need to communicate the situation, the reality, okay? You need to accept. See, the true strength of a great leader is the ability to be vulnerable, which means what? We've been taught in our culture, in our society, in our upbringing that don't share your challenges with people. People will take you for granted. That was a lesson taught to you by some very insecure parents. Please understand this. In leadership, vulnerability is strength. When you go out there and tell your team, hey guys, yes, we have a challenge. Yes, we are feeling pushed to the wall. Then they will honor that transparency. This is not the time to pretend. This is the time for authenticity. So be authentic as a leader. First step is about making sure you're communicating to the team that there is a crisis, there is a challenge. Okay. So firstly, accept that there is a challenge. You don't have to be macho man right now to your team. Accept the crisis with your team. Assure them about no layoffs if you believe in my philosophy or what I am saying. Assure your team that guys, we will not let anyone go. We will stick together. Okay. So accept the challenge. Assure them of no layoffs. Third, ask for flexibility from their side. Ask for flexibility from their side. What do I mean by flexibility? I totally agree that there are some businesses who have no money that they are sitting on, or they have very little money that they are sitting on, and there's uncertainty about when things are going to start. There is uncertainty about how will money and when will money start coming in. I completely agree that there are businesses that are fully cash strapped at this point of time. My complete empathy to each and every one of you who are sitting on no reserves at all and you have very little left with yourself. So here's what you do. If you are in that situation where you do not have reserves to pay people for the next 3 months or 4 months, then you do your mathematics, okay, and you ask for flexibility in payout. Either you ask people that, hey, guys, can we do one thing? We don't want to lay anyone off to cut costs, but we want to meet everybody's livelihood expenses. So can we all take a discounting at this point of time? Can we pay 80% of the salary and not as a pay cut, but pay the balance 20% in another 6 months? I don't know what that ratio is for you. You need to do the mathematics for yourself. Okay. Do your calculation for the next 3 to 4 months. Okay. See the reserves that you have and then offer this discounting payout or a deferred payout to your team saying, every month can we pay 80% or 75% of the salary and the balance as an assurance can we pay once things start to normalize. There is no harm in asking for support. It's at least better than laying someone off, because you're cutting down one person's livelihood. It's best to come together at this point of time. Okay, so with your team, accept the crisis, assure about no layoffs, ask for flexibility in payout. How many of you think that asking for flexibility in payout makes sense? If you think that makes sense, type out makes sense. Okay, ask for flexibility in payout. Okay, then the fourth thing you need to do is you need to assign clear tasks for every person while they are working from home. You need to assign clear tasks for every person while they're working from home. Now here I understand that there are some businesses, like I can tell you this, my event management company. In my event management company, I have a marketing team, I have a sales team, I have a design team, and I have an operations team. My operations team is the one that manages the production of our events. Now when there's no events happening, my operations team does not have any work. But what we've done is we've created clear roles and tasks to be done on a day-to-day basis for my marketing team. It's a good time to do marketing. Do you realize that most people are spending so much time on the internet? You better start doing videos. You better start putting content out there. Better start sending emails to your database, because now is the time people are spending time on consuming content. They rather spend time on consuming useful content about your business than a useless video about how to cure coronavirus sitting at home. So this is the time your marketing engine has to be in turbo mode. Your sales team has to make calls and connect with old clients and say, hey, we know the times are difficult. How are you doing? Use this time for connection, for networking. Okay. So in my case, the marketing team, there's full focus. The sales team, they're connecting with old clients. The accounts team is doing all the budgeting, the forecasting, the past data analysis, stuff like that. As the management of the business, there are a set of things you can do. Now, how many of you would like my help to work with you on your team on the work that they can do while there is a shutdown? How many of you like that help? And I know some of you commenting saying, but Rajiv, I'm in a retail business. Okay, there's a solution too for you. How many of you like that solution? If you like that solution, type out, give it to me. Type it out, give it to me. Because here's what I'm going to do from my side. I will make myself available on this Friday. Okay, let me tell you the date. It is, that's my planner by the way. So on this coming Friday, 27th of March, 10 to 11:30 a.m., I am happy to do a free role creation session for every single one of your team members, okay, over a Zoom webinar called the Business Progress Webinar. Because I truly believe that this is the time for us to reach out and support as many entrepreneurs. So we are going to put out a link for the Business Progress Webinar. I'm going to ask my team to put out a link for the Business Progress Webinar. You may be manufacturing, you may be services, you may be retail, you may be trading, you may be whatever business. I want to this Friday sit with you, understand your business, and give you exactly what you and your team need to do. So I would like for you and your team to be a part of that webinar. And we are not charging any money for that. We are not charging any money for that. This is just our way of giving it back to the entrepreneurship community, paying it forward for entrepreneurs. So I'm going to ask my team to put in a Zoom link, okay, for this webinar. Now, before you put that, for you to get that link, there is a link of a type form. There's a link of a type form. Even if you're in the travel business, I want to tell you what you can do in this times. Okay, so there's a type form that my team is going to put out in the comment section, which we would like for you to fill, okay, so that you get access to that webinar link. Okay, let me just try and pull out the type form. Okay, in fact, I'm using my phone right now to do the Facebook Live. So this is for everyone. This is for everyone. Either you're already a part of our coaching community or you're not a part of our coaching community. It does not matter. Okay, we want you to be a part of this webinar. Okay, if you can get your team members to log in on this webinar as well, we are happy to help you. So I'm going to just take a minute, go out and tell my team to post in that webinar link, okay, on the type form. I want you to fill that type form, only then you get the link. So stay online. I'm not yet done with this Facebook Live. Hold. Bhakti, can you call Avinash and tell him to post the type form link on the comments? He's not posting them. I'm telling you again and again. Okay, yeah. My team, if you see, Avinash has posted the Typeform link there saying bit.ly/biz hyphen progress. Okay. So no matter what business you are in, come into this webinar on Friday from 10 to 11:30 for 90 minutes. We will create progressive action for your business, custom to your business. So make sure that you're there, okay, for this one. Because when I'm talking about actions to take, I've said first thing, to your team, communicate, accept the crisis. Second thing, assure your team there is going to be no layoff, and do it only if you believe it. Do it only if you believe it. Okay. Third thing, ask your team for flexibility in payout, in a deferred payout. Probably pay 80% salaries, 75% salaries, and pay the balance when times get normal. Okay. Fourth thing, assign clear roles for every department for working from home. So make sure that you assign clear roles, and that's what I'm going to teach you in this webinar. What kind of roles you need to play, things you can do. I mean, there's so much to do. I was just telling my team and my business partners, I haven't been this busy sitting at home. Like, I don't work this much in office because it's a great time to create. It's a great time to analyze. It's a great time to train people. It's a great time to network and reconnect with people. It's a great time to learn. I've just given you some tasks. At this point of time, as a business owner, you can create new products, new services. You can create new strategies. You can create new processes. As a business owner, you can analyze past data, financial data. As a business owner, you can analyze your strategies, what's working, what's not working. You can analyze the performance of every team member, who's doing well, not doing well. Okay, you can analyze the cycles and trends of your business. Okay, so I'm going to give you these elements that you can start doing. At the end of the day, it's useful action that creates useful result. And let me give you all another perspective. If you are struggling today, listen to this carefully. If you are struggling today, that is a consequence of your past. Your present today is a consequence of your past. Now the question is, what you do today will be what will impact your future. I think we have an amazing 2 weeks as entrepreneurs to come inside, stay with ourselves, create, analyze, and prepare so that when times get normal, we can skyrocket. Most people are just reading WhatsApp messages on how to deal with coronavirus, sitting at home. And they are only getting more and more worried. Take your precautions, stay at home, don't step out, don't be an idiot, don't be a social problem, okay? But when you're staying at home, don't complain, don't whine, don't worry, get to work. So this Friday, 10 to 11:30, I'm going to teach you how to get to work while you sit at home and how to get your team members to work while you sit at home. Okay, so that's why I want you to fill that form so I know what types of businesses are there and I'll create solutions for every single type of business. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what are clear roles for you to do and what are clear roles for your team members to do. Okay, and finally, I want you to adapt a review system. Every day now, in fact, in your business, because everybody is working from home, every day now, you need to have review system. People in the morning have to communicate on a video call. What are the kind of goals for the day? What can they get done for the day? Okay, and then the next day you review that and then they create the next day. So you got to adopt a review system right now. Because if you are not reviewing, then everybody's floating. And give people the benefit that they are working from home, which means we are not expecting 8 hours of productivity. We are not expecting timesheets saying, okay, tell me how did you work for 8 hours? Okay. We are just expecting people to do productive activities. If they are putting in 3 hours of productive work, keeping in mind sitting at home and working will have hundreds of distractions. That's also progress, ladies and gentlemen. That's also progress. Okay. Can your team attend this webinar? Absolutely yes. And now, so here's what you need to do. Here's the action today. Communicate with your team and accept the crisis. Assure them of no layoffs. Ask for flexibility in payout. Assign clear roles for people. Adopt a review system. These are the 5 ACEs you need to use in this times of crisis. And we're going to go into detail in this on this Friday. The other thing is also explore the opportunity in adversity. If you're sitting on cash right now, okay, if you have good cash in your business, in your bank account, you're sitting on good cash right now, it may be a good time to buy your raw materials and your supplies at a much cheaper cost. Okay, so take that proactive action, reach out to suppliers, understand everybody's going through a tough time. So I'm sure you'll get better credit terms, you'll get better price points. This is the time to encash. Okay, this is the time to encash. So if you're sitting on surplus cash right now and you're in a business which requires you to buy or purchase raw materials or supplies, this is the time to negotiate, close deals, process orders. Even they get started, even you get started. Okay, so buy supplies and raw materials at a lesser price. If you're sitting on cash right now, invest in the stock market, gain knowledge. Okay, gain knowledge, invest in the stock market, invest in gold. Okay, now let me tell you something. When I tell people invest in the stock market, invest in gold, they say, but Rajiv, I don't have knowledge about it. Now you see, that's what I say, that your present is a result of your past. You didn't bother being proactive in the past. So it's hitting you today when the opportunity has come. That's why I'm saying, let's make the present count now so it does not hit you in the future. Your future will be the result of your present. So now take proactive action in learning. Figuring out how to invest in the stock market. You need to do all of these things now. Okay. If you are in the export business, stay connected with your clients. Okay. If you were always challenged by China, now is to give the challenge back to China. Stay connected with your clients. Okay. This is the time. Here's something I'm making as a business prediction. I know China is back on its feet and I know they're going to start manufacturing again. But here's a business prediction I'm giving you. This is where I'm playing a forecaster. This is for my manufacturing friends. Because of this global pandemic situation and how China's production line setting down hit other companies when times were normal there, let me promise you one thing. All these larger companies are now going to distribute their manufacturing and not be just dependent on China. Which means at least 15 to 20%, if they were 100% manufacturing from China, at least 15 to 20%, they will now give it out to India or to Bangladesh or to Sri Lanka. So this is the time to reconnect and network just to understand how they are doing, because right now most countries are in a health crisis, but then rebuild the relationship for the times when they become normal so that you can go out there and penetrate the market. Okay. So if you're in the export business, connect with your clients. If you're a products and services business and your products and services are online friendly, get online. Learn digital marketing, learn digital teaching, learn digital logistics and sell your products and services online. Because I know businesses who are product businesses and they were doing it traditionally and they're saying, yaar, seekhenge. Someday I will learn how to sell my products on Amazon or someday I'll learn how to sell my products on Flipkart. Now is your time to learn, my friend. Now is your time to get started. What more are you waiting for? So there is opportunity in adversity for everyone. Okay, go digital in whatever way you can. Now, are there certain industries that are really hit? Yes, my industry, event management, is one industry that's really hit. Another industry, I know, travel is really hit. Okay, hospitality is badly hit. This is the time to reinvent, to create. Me and my team have been talking about doing an online event. Okay, so I'm going to be answering questions specific to industries once you fill the form on Friday, because I will prepare solutions for you. So to summarize, guys, here's what I have said so far. Step number 1, don't resist the times. Accept the times. Accept that this global pandemic is not in your control. What's in your control is your thoughts, your focus and your action. Analyze your numbers, analyze your budgets, analyze your cash situation. Have awareness of how this situation has exposed the challenges of your business model, has exposed the challenges of your own character and mindset, has exposed your leadership, has exposed your team culture, and then act upon it by communicating with your team, accepting the crisis with them, assuring that there will be no layoffs, ask for flexibility in payout, assign clear roles, which we'll talk about this Friday, okay, and adopt a review system and look at opportunity in the adversity. Wherever you can think or explore, just explore opportunity. Let me tell you one simple thing. This is the time to play your A game, which means this is like the last over of an IPL match where India needs 16 runs and Dhoni is getting on the crease with the best bowler bowling to him, Dhoni does not get nervous. That's when he brings out his A game. This is your time to bring out your A game. So if you're too worried, too negative, too distracted, stop, look into the mirror and ask yourself, am I playing my A game? Is this the best that I can be? And if you feel the answer is no, then commit to yourself that you're going to bring out your A game. Secondly, this is the time to show compassion. Compassion to your team, compassion to your suppliers, compassion to your domestic help, compassion to your watchmen, compassion to those street vendors and hawkers. In all honesty, most of them have survival challenges. And if you don't, then don't hold, show compassion. Okay, give more to the needy at this point of time. Okay, so play your A game, show compassion. Third, be kind to yourself. Don't expect 8 hours of productive work sitting at home. It's not possible. So don't whip yourself at the end of the day or complain to your spouse saying, see, I'm not able to be focused. See, this is so frustrating. No, be kind to yourself as well. There's a deeper spiritual message for the whole of humanity. Okay, where the universe is telling us something. We need to listen to that spiritual message. Otherwise, we are going to skip a very important phase of learning. Okay, so be kind to yourself. Give yourself chill time. Give yourself Netflix time. Give yourself team time. Give yourself learning time. Give yourself family time. Give yourself focus time. Enjoy being at home. Don't complain about it. Okay, stop complaining. Okay, so have your chill time, have your Netflix time, have your family time, have your focus time, have your creation time, have your learning time, have your team communication time. Okay, don't fight this. Okay, lastly, how you respond to this crisis decides whether you have the fabric of failure or success. Simple as that. How you respond to this crisis decides whether you have the fabric of failure or success. You may not start making money tomorrow based on what you're creating. But I think that the fundamentals never change. Positive thought, positive communication, positive action always leads to positive results. Okay? But if you go into this negative thought, the frustration, the worry, it just means that the circumstance is larger than you. I really want each and every one of you to reflect on what this phase is teaching you about life. Okay, it's so beautiful that today the only thing we are worried about in this complete lockdown is, am I getting vegetables in the market, okay, so that I can cook at home and eat. Nature is teaching us a very, very important lesson. I think it's time we breathe, absorb that lesson, yet prepare with focus and move forward. Okay, because worry is not going to deal with the problem. I think it is our mindset, the human spirit that has to come out. When it comes to your business, I am always here. I'm going to answer each and every one of your questions. I'm going to give you as much support as I can in this phase. Make sure that you are there on Friday from 10 to 11:30 so that you get direct value about your business. Make sure you fill that form, that link, because if you have not filled that form, you won't get access to that webinar. You can give that once you get the webinar link, you can share it with your team. I would love for your team also to be there on that webinar from their homes. And I will tell them how this is the time for a business owner and their team members to come together. I will make this your collective challenge, you and your team's collective challenge, not just the entrepreneur's individual challenge. Okay. If this has added value to you, I look forward to seeing you in that webinar. I'm going to be around for 10 minutes. Okay. If you have any questions, type out the questions and I will answer as many questions as I can in the next 10 minutes. But stay assured that that webinar on Friday, 27th of March, 10 a.m. to 11:30 will be designed to answer your questions. And that's why we are collecting data to figure out what type of businesses you are in and what challenge you have. So make sure you fill that. And ladies and gentlemen, this too shall pass. Just remember that. This too shall pass. Okay. It's just about staying together and making sure that we are having a resourceful time, a resourceful life. Okay. I'm not negating the challenge. All I'm saying is let's rise above it. Okay. So if you like it, if you like what I've shared, once this is posted later in the day, share it on your wall, share the link of it on your WhatsApp groups and tell your WhatsApp groups, watch this. This is useful stuff. Okay. let's not worry about how to treat coronavirus while sitting at home. We can't. Okay. So, yep. So, yeah. Any questions? Small marketing strategy for compliance service. Tejas, I'm going to do a section on marketing on this Friday's webinar where I'm going to teach manufacturing guys what to do in marketing, services guys what to do in marketing, and retail guys what to do in marketing. So make sure you're there on this Friday's thing. Kamlaksh says, how can we play a game in beauty and wellness industry? Well, specific answers will be in the Facebook in the webinar. But Kamlaksh, this is the time for you to reach out to customers. This is the time where you can probably start offering services like at home haircut with social distancing. Talk about the levels of hygiene. I love what Zomato is doing. I love what Zomato is doing. They're saying social distancing delivery, and that guy is coming in with gloves worn, face mask, so you're assured that the package has been held by the guy with the gloves. Okay, then they don't give it to you in the hand. They come and keep it on your doorstep, and they say it's delivered, and then they click a picture that they're not giving it hand to hand. There is a distance there. I think if some of your businesses can adopt these practices, okay, some of your businesses can adopt these practices just as an assurance, saying that okay, we are taking all precaution and delivering essential services. I know, Kamlaksh, if in your city there's a lockdown, don't send a hairdresser to someone's home for a haircut. I don't want the cops to beat up your guy. But this is the point where you can churn out a lot of videos about health, hygiene, hairstyling, all of those kind of things, Kamlaksh. I mean, it's a great time to create content. Okay. Gangwani says, in women's apparel retail, what explore in current situation? Well, you may not be able to open your retail store at this point of time, but there's a lot you can do on working on the collection and design for the next season. There's a lot that you can do of buying supplies at a lower cost or closing deals of supplies, even if you're not paying them right now at a lower cost. Okay, so you have to think ahead. You have to answer the question, what more can we do which is useful? How manufacturers can cope up with this working from, absolutely, your production line has stopped, Shweta. I understand that in manufacturing production lines have stopped, but I would say that there's so much more to create, and I'm too tempted to answer some of these things because you guys are asking me specific questions, but I have a whole deck created that I want to share with you guys on this Friday's Facebook on this Friday's Zoom call. So make sure you fill that link, and we'll talk about what manufacturers can do. So I'm going to talk about what manufacturers can do, what people in retail can do, what people in trading, what people in services businesses can do during the times of this shutdown. Okay. Giri says, we have some low performing team members who need to be sat. Can we do it now, or it is a wrong time to do it? Low performing versus low integrity. I would ask you to check these two things. You know, personal philosophy again, Girish, I wouldn't fire someone for low performance, but I would fire someone for an integrity violation, which means if someone is engaging in any kind of theft or lies, for me, that's a core values violation. So I would let such a person go, whether it's corona or kuch nahi corona. But low performance, I would kind of use this time to train and mentor that person and give him demonstrative tasks so that that person can build their capability. Okay. 1 second. I'm kind of losing the questions in the chat. So I've been looking for a job. Can you please help me? Karthik, I'm really not a job expert. What will be the best marketing methods for manufacturing? I answered that. I said I will answer it. Can I do videos in Hindi? Well, आप सवाल हिंदी में पूछो, मैं जवाब हिंदी में दे दूँगा. Okay. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to call it a day. All the specific questions I'm going to answer on the Zoom call on Friday. Shama's question, Rajiv, how long do you think this lockdown will go on? I think 3 to 4 months till all this clears up. Well, Shama, these are the kind of questions we shouldn't ask. Neither should we ever answer. Because who am I to answer that question? I don't work in the office of the Prime Minister. I don't have any projections of how big this pandemic is going to grow. And I think these are the kind of questions that call for useless discussions. And I know a lot of people are sitting and answering these questions at home with their family saying, हाँ चलेगा 6 महीना चलेगा मेरे हिसाब से. भाई तू है कौन? So let's stop this analysis game and let's focus on getting work done. Okay, Shama, nothing against you, but I think we need to kill that mindset of getting people to stop asking and answering such questions. Okay. Tina says, I'm a solopreneur, new venture, sell nuts and spices. Basically, it's online selling. How to spike or at least keep it running? Well, Tina, let's focus on keeping it running, and let's talk about that on Friday. Cash flow is discussed. How to control cost escalation when cash inflow is reduced. Well, I would use the deferred pay option. Whomever I have to pay, I would reach out to them and say, I want to pay you full, but I want to pay you in a deferred option. And in these times, people are understanding. Be it your rents, reach out to your landlord and say, hey, listen, office is shut, everything has come to a standstill, I want to pay every single penny. Instead of me paying 100%, can I pay 50% now and 50% as a stack over a period of time once we get started? There's no harm in exploring such things. Okay, let's just get creative, and as long as the intent is clean, I think people will see that. Yeah. Okay, so with that, I think this is the time for us to call it a day. I hope this Facebook Live was useful for you guys. I have a request. Make sure you share this Facebook Live. Make sure you go and save or get the link of this Facebook Live and go share it on all those WhatsApp groups which are talking about Corona se ye hoga or amla khaoge to ye nahi hoga. I think let's spread more useful information than negative or meaningless information. That's the only request I have for you guys. Thank you guys. I look forward to seeing you on Friday, 10 to 11:30 a.m. Make sure you fill that form, because if you've not filled that form in the Zoom, in the comment section that my team has put up, you will not get access to that Zoom call. So make sure you and your team members are there on Friday, 10 to 11:30 a.m. Look forward to seeing you guys on the other side. Thank you. Bye-bye.